corridor link that goes from Dudley to Birmingham, form part of the 12th corridor, and this is combined with two routes between Dudley and Birmingham through Oldbury, and that is the 12 and the 12A, and these are operated by National Express West Midlands, NX12A, and these routes are operated out of West Bromwich Garage. Now the 12 was famously known as the 120 back in the day, and the 12A, well, it was actually split into different segments. So between Dudley and Oldbury it used to be the old 688, which later became the 121 from Dudley to West Bromwich, and the Birmingham part was part of the 120A, which is now known as the 12A, as the 12A was rerouted into Birmingham rather than serving West Bromwich. So if you need to get to West Bromwich now, you have to change at Oldbury for the 338, 4M, 4H to get into the centre of West Bromwich. So we're just by Bottom Church, St Edmunds, which sits at the bottom end of Dudley Town Centre, to Top Church, which sits at the top of Dudley Town Centre. So just in front is 2098, a Volvo V7 RLE right eclipse urban Mark II, in the grey National Express livery. So anyway, there's St Edmunds Church, Bottom Church. Services due to the work taking place on the Dudley bus interchange. You can see a crane just going on. Dudley Zoo is full. Obviously we're not allowed to point the camera into the zoo even though it's an animal, because obviously there's a lot of people about and we've got to get consent from other customers before we include them, because we don't want to get caught for doing that. I can get myself done for that. So we're just by Dudley Zoo, which is also in conjunction with the castle. You can see construction of this new university park that's going on here in Dudley. So there's 2098 BX12DDJ on the 11 service bound for Walsall, and that's from Pensnick Garage. So Dudley also has the chairlift. Now, as you know, this is a bit of a long queue at the moment because obviously with these diversions it's causing a lot of hold-ups at the moment. That's just how things are at the moment, unfortunately. Anyway, there's a 74 coming in. That's the 74. That's going for Birmingham. And that's another at the Ex Coventry batch. That one is 300 4774. Well, this one is 300 4772. So we just need to drop the camera because obviously we've got someone passing. We don't want them in our footage, so I'll just drop the camera. So if I have to do this, guys, I just have to be respectful for the people around, across the tracks of the tram. So the tram system, this is where the trams were eventually, and I'll also cover the old Dudley railway system. So we'll also buy anyway, there are the tracks down there. That goes on to, that's the building of the VLR. You can see one of the trams there, one part of the old transit train, one part of the old metro fleet, built originally in Italy. So there are the old trams built in Italy, and then of course got the standard trams that run on the metro line these days. So anyway, first exit, that is for the A4123 towards Wolverhampton, and also the A4037 towards Tipton, and then you've got the nearby tourist attractions, the Coventry Museum, additional car park for the Dudley Zoo and Castle, and then of course you've got the Dudley Canal and Tunnel and Limestone Mines, which is known as Dudley Canal and Tunnel Trust, and of course you've got the archives as well. So this is one of the islands here at Burnsley, near Castlegate. So we're just by Castlegate, which is home with the Showcase Cinemas. Now obviously the 12's doesn't usually come down this line, it actually goes straight onto the Dixon Swing, but obviously with the station closure it will have to be rerouted at this time. There's the castle again with the famous Dudley chairlift. I know it was taken out of commission for the last couple of years, but it finally got restored as well. Obviously, what you do, you sit on the chairlift. It's only a small, slow ride, but it's a bit like going up and down, a bit like on a funicular, except you're on a chairlift rather than being on rails. A funicular lift. And obviously the only funicular Cliff Railway, well, Cliff Railways are mainly seen by the sea, but Bridgnorth's the only place to have its inland Cliff Railway. Station Hotel. So there's a Scania the little Optare Solo, if you remember them, and also the little local DBA vehicles back in the day. Hello there everyone, welcome to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures here on YouTube. I hope you're keeping yourselves good and welcome to the 12A video from Dudley to Birmingham via Oldbury. And this is operated by National Express West Midlands, operated out of West Bromwich. And it was operated by Pensnet for a short few times, but obviously West Bromwich had become dominant on the 12 and 12A corridor. And obviously there's going to be changes affecting this route starting from towards the end of this month, I believe. So I'm just going to get into TFWM bus changes. Just bear with me, I'm going to deliver this to you. So anyway, the 12A is going to be replaced by a more frequent 12 service, which will increase to every 20 minutes, which will cover all the roads apart from Tower Road and Darby's Hill. And the new amended 12A service will operate between Dudley and Oldbury only, which will operate every hour alongside an amended 14 service between Dudley and Blackheath. And the 12A will be operated by Diamond Bus. So Diamond Bus will take over the running of the 12A, meaning there will be direct competition with bus services between Dudley and Oldbury. And it will operate via Regent Road, Elm Terrace, Poplar Avenue and City Road in place of the Diamond 14 service, which will be rerouted. And it will continue to Oldbury via Tower Road, and it will cover the withdrawal of the current NX12A 12A service. The 13 and 13A, those services are going to be revised. And a revised service 13 will operate between Birmingham, Worley and Blackheath, replacing the 13A, with the 13A being withdrawn and with the number being dropped to become just the plain 13, whilst the current 13 service between Worley, the George and Oldbury will be withdrawn, which was back to the days of the old 128 service. And the revised 13 will serve Bleak House Road, George Road, Bristol Hall Road, Salop Road and Hurst Road, and the current line of route from Abbey Road to Blackheath. Alternative services are available on most roads currently served by the 13 between Worley, the George and Oldbury. That is the 22 that goes from Bearwood to Oldbury, operated by NX12A. And of course, the 12 will also continue to provide the link on Vicarage Road towards Oldbury. So obviously, not all that. So nothing is going to be isolated. So at least passengers will still be able to travel in and out of Oldbury. The 14 from Dudley to Blackheath, this service is going to operate to a revised route and timetable. And Regent Road, Elm Terrace, Poplar Avenue and City Road will no longer be covered on this corridor. And that will be replaced by the 12A. So those are the full information on what is happening on the line itself. So at least they're just revising the 12 and 12A, with the 12 going to every 20 minutes, which I don't blame it for. And obviously West Bromwich Garage will continue to run the 12s. And also the 13s will continue to be run by West Bromwich. So that means there's going to be no change of depots, but obviously with the 12s going to every 20 minutes, they'll possibly allocate a lot more buses on it. So yeah, it's all changing the bus industry over the years, and obviously Arriva is going to be taking on the Travel Telford contracts as well. So they'll be taking on the Travel Telford contracts off Select and Chase riders. So those routes will change as part of the upgrade. So we're now on Thimble Mill Road. So we're now in Smethwick. Area. And also we're in Bearwood. So we're now in Bearwood as well. So now we're going along Sandon Road. And now we're going along City Road. Anyway, we're now coming into the centre of Birmingham now. So we're joined up with the rest of the city routes that come in and out of Birmingham, and that's the X10, 9s, X8, 12, and of course the 126. And so Birmingham is one of the busiest cities. Obviously, as you know, a lot of people love or hate Birmingham because it's a very, very busy city. So obviously it is not really the best, even though it is a good place, but obviously it can be a bit rammed, so you're best try and avoid if you can, because I know certain places get busy, especially when it's Christmas, etc. So we're now arriving into Birmingham, and here's the Birmingham Library. So you've got the Birmingham Library. Not sure if this still goes along, but obviously, as you know, you have got the metro system that covers most of Birmingham city centre, because obviously Birmingham's now been parked in with the likes of Manchester, because obviously Manchester has a transit system. Birmingham is one of the biggest cities in the country. It's the second city outside of London. And and obviously this is where they filmed the kids' cartoon programme Brum back in the day. Brum. Hi, Amber Roberts from Andy. Hi, Andy. Good to see you. So anyway, this is Birmingham's. So now arriving into the centre of Birmingham. So here's St Chad's Church. And here we are in Colmore Row, here in Birmingham. Welcome to Birmingham.